Did you want me to speak?
Yeah, we're ready.
Oh, I'm glad that something's been happening to help us to get our land, because they took our land, they should give it back to us, their descendants. So that's what I'm trying to do. I guess it's nothing new, because if you look back in history, there was always killers. Alexander the Great murderer, and then there was Genghis Khan and Charlemagne. So history repeats itself. And we had Hitler, we had Napoleon. I mean, we had Caesar. There's been people that will demolish anything in their way. So nothing has changed. There's always been trouble. And they came over here and they destroyed us completely. I think I'm the only full-blood Chumash left. And right now there's only quarter-bloods and half-bloods, and a lot of them that say they are. All of a sudden it's fashionable to be an Indian. So we're going through that. But I think the more they think about us, the more we come out in front of the people, so we can tell the history of our people for our children, and children yet unborn, great-grandchildren that are maybe one-quarter blood or one-eighth blood. They will be proud of what we have done, the ancestors. And that's one of my main things that I want to do, is to start an intertribal, an interracial camp where they will learn from one another. It's not a religious thing, and each one believes their own way, but a way of life. The religion that we have is to take care of Mother Earth so it can survive all the things that are being done to it, destruction, because that in itself will destroy every living thing there is. There's thousands of living things that used to live, that are extinct now, and we shouldn't do that, because that's breaking the balance, the laws of nature. And so whenever we get to the point where we can get along with one another, and to realize that the day you are born, you begin to die. It doesn't make any difference what color you are. We live so long, we're born without nothing, and when we die, we take nothing with us. So we should share with one another, and that's something that we were taught, and we are trying to build this camp for this reason, that we can teach, not religion, but a way of life. When you find lost cities and all these things, they were the civilization of those years, and they were wiped out by something, and another one would build on top of it. And sometimes we'd have seven or eight different civilizations, one on top of the other. And we destroy it, and then it comes back again. But this way, we have the knowledge of the balance, the laws of nature, and if we can get to that, instead of a heaven up there and someplace waiting to be died to it, this is paradise to us. And this is what Mother Earth is supposed to be. And that's the way that we were taught, and we kept the balance for thousands of years. And there was no diseases or anything. It was all brought in from the smallpox and TB. All these things were brought in from people that did not obey the laws of nature. They destroyed everything they've met. There's things that have been destroyed completely, even in this land. And this is what we're trying to do, is to teach the young ones, no matter what color they are, to come over and to learn to take care of Mother Earth for the future of children and children yet unborn, and to take care of the grandfathers and their ancestors so that they can die peacefully. There'll be a lot of people that should have camps that would teach not religion. The church is here, not in the building, and to teach them to get along with one another, and to be able to get away from killing, like that blue jay just went by. Other people would shoot it, yet why, we don't know. But they're murderers, and we've got to teach our children not to kill these beautiful birds. We have a witness here now, and he's speaking to me, and he's saying that we are doing the right thing. That's blue jay that you just heard. He's right there, and he's knowing that we don't represent a threat to him and to his little ones when they are born. There he is. So they're coming around now, because the laws of nature shows that they themselves know if you are a killer or not. You can walk up and they won't fly away. Other people, they just see them and they fly away because they're killers. They think it's sport to go kill, and that's murder. When you kill, if you did kill for food or something else, because it's survival. But to just go out and kill and bring the antlers or the head and put it in your front room, you'll suffer for it, because nature law is retribution. If you do wrong, you're going to pay with something. Because if you make people unhappy, something will happen, and you will lose that which you love the most. Could be your daughter, could be your wife, and it's happening every moment right now where people are losing that which they love the most. Yet they think they can go to church on Sunday and they'll be all right. No, we have to keep the balance. We have to look at each other, and we know that we belong here. All colors belong here, and all people belong here. And it's up to us to go and help. Like next week, I'm going to be at a place where they're making a place for all the retarded children and abandoned children, and I'm going to be there doing a ceremony for these little children that have no one. So we find people there once in a while that do care, and they build these places for little camps like that. But this is going to be a big camp to bring in all the retarded kids and the ones that are on wheelchairs. And I'm going to be doing that ceremony for this lady or this group of people that care. And that's another start. Other people can do the same thing. In a small scale, they could adopt a family that is down and out without advertising. You don't want anybody to know. And every once in a while, you send them a basket of food, and they don't know where it came from, other than know that somebody delivered it, bought it, and delivered to them. We can still begin by caring for one another and stop the people from cutting down these beautiful trees that have been here for hundreds of years and making Mother Earth bare. Because if she gets barren, then we will die too. The balance, we have to keep the balance. And the Indians know how to do it. I'm talking about the old ones. I'm not talking about the modern ones who are fast cars or the whole thing, but that's all right because they'll get old someday. But it's up to the old ones and the old grandmothers to teach the way of life of how to take care of a family. To us, this is something that is lacking, to take care of the people and the children that are innocent, who are being raped every day. I mean, it's terrible to be like that. So somebody has to help. And this is my camp will be where we can cleanse people from a lot of things. I didn't cure them, but they were cured through this ceremony. People that had cancer, and my wife can vouch for that, or they will come forward and tell you, because they were in the hospital and they were about to operate on them. After the ceremony, they found out that they had the wrong x-ray. Well, that's good. But that lady had cancer. And we know about alcoholics that we've cured. Alcohol is a disease. It's an evil thing. Habits are, when you can fill your lungs with nicotine and create cancer in your lungs, that is witchcraft. Somebody's making a lot of money out of it. When you make money out of things that are dangerous to humanity and for children, you are in trouble. And that is more like witchcraft. So this is what I have to say. And a lot of times I don't make many friends that hear me, yet they come to hear me. Now the thing that destroyed us first, the Spaniards came in there with their missions. And our people were nothing but slaves to them. And then they taught us how to be guilty for things that were natural. And yet they kept on doing that, but they could confess, and next week they could do the same thing over again. They would punish you for being natural, for falling in love with a girl without their consent. Those were the Catholics. Then after that, Mexico won the independence and took over California, and California is not a Mexican, it belonged to us. And they were Catholics, but they left us alone much, but they had a lot of prostitutes and alcohol, and they worked the people. Then the Anglo-Saxon came over in 1850, took over, and immediately the government passed a law, and you can look it up, that we could not testify against a white man, no matter what he did to us. So that destroyed us right there, because they could kill us. And then the Bureau of Indian Affairs called us indigenous. In other words, this tree is indigenous. They could transplant us or cut us down or burn us. And you couldn't testify against them. So when the 49ers came in here for the gold rush by the thousands and thousands, they didn't bring any wives. And then they had the privilege of raping the Indian women. And this is on record, because the Indian women could not testify against them because they were Christians and we were savages and heathens. That was the beginning of the end of our people. And our people were not fighters. They were not killers. The only thing that a man was taught to be was to be a good provider, a good protector, a good husband, and a good father. That's all. We were not warrior type. We used to trade with everybody. are the divine laws of the Creator. And everything has to have a male and female somewhere. And that makes a lot of friends for me, some places. So anyway, that's our belief. And I know that I'm not going to be here long, because I've outlived the average lifespan of an American Indian by many years. Next August, which is a few months from now, I'll be 86. And I've outlived the average lifespan of the American Indian by about 30 years. So we'll see. I always create questions when I talk to people. But I'm not trying to be a chief, because I'm not. I'm not from the right clan, and I'm just what they call a medicine man, or in other words, a healer. That's about it. But I don't use any drugs. I don't use anything other than the ritual itself is when we cut off the umbilical cord, the memory cord. And you can only cut off the bad, because the bad is made up. But you can't cut off the truth, the good, because the good is the truth, and the truth is still around. So we don't have anything to do with salvation or anything, other than we try to make it livable for the people, to get along with one another, and to respect one another, help one another, a little here and a little there. And on Sunday, instead of going to church, they should go out to the slums and take a basket of food and give to anybody that's there, that are just standing there. They don't have a breakfast. Then you are doing, because the poor people from the slums and all, those were Jesus Christ's people. Those are the ones that he healed. A lot of people go to church and they give a big donation, and they have a big building that's worth millions of dollars. That would be very good to spend that money on the kids that are in juvenile, straighten them out, give them something to think about. There's so much things that you can do that would be Christian, is to take care of your brother and your children, and children yet unborn. And I guess I should have been a preacher, but I wouldn't have lasted very long. Well, all I can say is that I'm considered a radical, but you know I'm telling the truth. And I'm over here trying to find out if people will help my nonprofit organization so I can get my land back, and so that I can be buried on my own ancestral ground. There's some of my people are buried there, great-grandfather. Some of those bones that they dig out of my people are over 3,000 years old. And I took it away from them and buried them. And they wanted to arrest me, but the people that dug them up had them there for about 6, 7 years, I don't know. And then I finally got them from the sheriff and reburied them under the reburial. Indictment. Indictment is what they call. You're a professor, you got a PhD and all that. Of the Great Spirit, in that way you know all about us Indians. Do you know the language? And I kept asking him, he says, no, and he started getting red in the face. Finally I left. I said, well, I'm getting out of here. You don't know a damn thing. And the new grand jury for one to point. Pretty natural tobacco, but the tobacco that was used in these pipes was not inhaled. The first person to inhale tobacco was Sir Walter Raleigh, and then he took the pipe